Hey guys, welcome back to the Jessica Ruth Knits podcast. I am Jessica and this is episode 10. Thank you so much for coming back. If you are a returning viewer, if you are new, thank you for stopping by and visiting and checking me out. Again today my husband is upstairs sleeping in the loft, so I'm going to talk a little bit quieter than normal, but hopefully you guys can hear me okay. So for those of you that don't know, we live in a tiny house, which makes it kind of hard to do anything if somebody is sleeping. My husband works nights, so he sleeps during the day. So we're just going to try to work around it and talk softly, and we'll get through the podcast. So this is a podcast about knitting, about craftiness, there's homesteading, and a little bit of tiny house living thrown in. So thank you so much for coming by. You can find me on Instagram as Jessica Ruth Knits. You can find me on Facebook as Jessica Knits, and on Ravelry as Sgtgriffsgirl. So it's Sgtgriffsgirl, Girl. I'm most active on Instagram, and I would love if you guys would hop on over there, follow me. I show a lot more homesteady pictures there. Yeah, so just more general life. But that is where you can find me. I live right outside of Hot Springs, Arkansas, and it is kind of a rainy day, so if the rain gets too loud, I'll try to pause this. But yeah, so let's get started. Okay, so today ends the 100 subscriber giveaway that we were running, and we had 21 entries. So I used random number generator, and I did 2 through 21, and it gave us number 7. So I don't know if you guys can see that, but there it is. Oops, number 7. So number 7 on Ravelry is Trinsters. So that is Trina, and she is in Houston. And the prompt was, what do you like to knit for gifts? So Trina said, I like knitting scarves, simply because I don't have to really think about what I'm doing. I did love making bibs for my friend's new baby. I surprised her with 8. I think the witchcraft skein is gorgeous. So, Trina, I will be mailing out the witchcraft skein to you, and hopefully you can put it to good use. So, thank you guys for everybody who entered in our giveaway. I love entering in other people's giveaways, so hopefully we'll be doing quite a bit here on the podcast. But that was the 100 subscriber, so we're actually at 118 subscribers now, so thank you guys. I think that's really fun. Yeah, I have 2 co-hosts who might make appearances. The 2 kittens really get curious when I'm podcasting. I think they get confused about who in the world I'm talking to, so they'll usually come over. So Bartok, the one you guys see most often, is sitting right in front of me on the ladder. So, well, she just jumped down now. But you guys might get to see her in a minute. But let's get on to knitting. So, I don't have any finished objects, guys. None. Last week I had a ton. And then this week it's just all been big projects. So, yeah. I cast on a couple of new ones, so I have a lot of works in progress. But no finished objects for you guys. So, kind of a different podcast. But, okay, for my first work in progress, I have my Christmas socks. Now, this is tumbleweed yarn, and I think I showed this card on the last episode, but it's tumbleweed yarn, and it's in the color Sugar Skull, and I love it. It is so pretty. So, oops. I just turned the heel. It's like that. So these are for me. And again, this is showing up really red. It's really more of like a bright fuchsia pink. So it's like fuchsia, oh no. No, see, and then this one is like a forest green, but it looks navy blue on here. So there's like fuchsia pink, forest green, limey green, the pink, and then like a turquoisey blue. That one shows up pretty accurate. But yeah, I didn't put a progress keeper on to show you guys where I was last time, but I got a couple more inches done, and I got the heel turned. So I just did, this is like my standard sock, 64 stitches, fish lips, kiss heel. The yarn came with the mini that matches, so that's what the heel and toe and the cuff will be. These are Carbons needles. They're size 0, and I love these. I've never had any issues with the joins. Maybe in one pack I had like one bad one, but usually they come with 5 needles in a pack, and you don't need that many anyways. So there's usually an extra one if there's one bad one. But really, I love these needles. They're fun to use. I don't know that I like them any more than, usually I use the Chigus, which are like all metal. So I don't know that I like these any better, but I don't like them any less. So that is my work in progress number 1. So those, I'm hoping to finish these by Christmas for me. But they're kind of my just like keep in the car. I wanted to get past the heel, so that way, like if we go out to the movies, you know, I have some movie knitting to do. You know, sorry. Now they're just at like a plain vanilla place. So I know I can just grab this. I don't have to think about them. Again, it's in my Freckled Whimsy bag. You guys have seen this a million times. But, yeah, so I can take them into the movies. I can take them, you know, into the theater or whatever. So I like to usually have a project that's just basic and small. So I'm also working on my mom's poncho, which is definitely mindless knitting, but it's huge. So you can't just throw it in your purse, you know, like for if you're in a waiting room or something. So that's why I try to have a little project that I can just pick up and put down and don't have to think about it. So, work in progress number 1. Number 2 is I started a cowl. Now I showed you guys this yarn before. This is, the Juniper Moon Farm Moonshine. So it's baby alpaca, wool, and silk. In the unknown colorway. It's like forest green. And I started, it is the Cowgirl Cowl by Pam Powers. Now, it calls for more yardage than I have. So, I'm adapting it a little bit to hopefully use up what I have and not run out. But it's knit flat. So it's like this. And then it has buttons on the back. So it'll go like that down. But, right now it's got diagonals, you know, so they go left and then right and then left again. And, okay, so the way I'm altering it to try to use up less yardage, in between the diagonals, there's this garter stitch row. The pattern wants you to do like 5 rows in garter stitch, so I just did 3 each time. So in between each section, that'll cut out 2 rows. There you guys can see a little better. So I'm trying to do little things like that won't mess up the pattern, but that will eat up or use up less yardage. So, yeah, it seems really wide, but I think once it's on, it'll be fine. Just like that. So let me see if I have a picture of it. It is super cute. I think it'll be perfect for like under a winter coat. My Cowgirl Cowl, Pam Powers, you guys can look it up on Ravelry. Super fun. You do have to pay attention because of the way the decreases go. So there, you guys can kind of see it, chevrony. So you do have to pay attention. So this one usually stays home. This is like my computer right here. I had to cover it because the glare was really bad. But I just keep this on my computer desk, and if I'm watching Netflix or podcasts on YouTube, I can just pick it up. And I also have the pattern on the computer, so I don't have to flip through my phone or find the paper pattern. It's just all right there on the computer. last night, okay, my mom's poncho, it's what she wants, and I don't mind knitting it for her at all. It's just so boring. Yeah, it's 50 inches of stockinette stitch on like 100 some stitches, I think. So it's fine. It'll be nice in the end, and I really hope she wears it. She requested it, which is why I'm doing it for her. And I don't want to complain about it. It's just boring knitting. So last night I was not wanting to work on it at all. And I didn't want to work on my cowl, and I didn't want to work on my sock. I just wanted to work on something new. Because that's how we do it, right? So I had the yarn wound up. This is Madeline Tosh. It's Tosh Chunky. Oh, I don't. Colorway written down. Oh, this one. So I had the yarn wound up. It's in the Cardinal colorway, so it's Tosh Chunky. And I'm going to make the Fidra hat. I think that's how you say it. It's F-I-D-R-A. It's by Gudrun. It's G-U-D-R-U-N Johnson. I'm sorry, I'm horrible with foreign names. So, all I have done so far is the ribbing. But it's like, the camera's so bad right now. Okay, so it's like this. Maybe? It's supposed to be a twisted garter stitch rib. So, it's knit 2, purl 2. And then when you knit 2, you do it through the back loop. But on the other, so the first round is just knit 2, purl 2, knit 2 through the back loop, purl 2, etc. Well, in the next round, it's like, you break up the rib. You're supposed to. I didn't do that. I just saw knit 2, purl 2, and I took off. I'm horrible with reading directions. I always think I know more than the pattern designer knows. So I just saw knit 2 through the back loop, purl 2, and that's what I did. And by the time I realized, excuse me, I dropped the coaster. By the time I realized that I had done it wrong, I wasn't going to take it out. Because if you know me, you also know I just go with it. I don't like to take things out. So, I won't put it on my head. I would use the needles that the pattern called for, which I should have known better because I knit super loose. So, again, last night I tried this on, and it's not as tight as I would want it. Sorry, my hair is crazy. But I'm hoping, because the pattern, it's not quite a cable, but it has like a texture pattern to it. So I'm hoping that once I start the pattern portion of it, it will tighten it up. And if it doesn't, I can rip it out. This is only like an hour's worth of knitting, so I'm not too invested in it yet. But I still don't want to rip it out if I don't have to. So I'm going to, once I get started going on it, I'm going to see if it tightens up and kind of holds together better. Now, this is on 9s. You're supposed to do the ribbing on 9s, and then you switch to 10s for the pattern portion. Because it is so loose already, I'm not going to go to 10s. I'm just going to do it all on 9s. Yeah, if I would have done a swatch before, I probably would have done the ribbing on like a 7, and then gone up to a 9 for the hat portion. But I didn't do that. So, we'll see. If I have to rip it out, it's just for me, so I'm not really on a deadline at all. So it doesn't have to be done by Christmas or anything. So, we shall see. Okay. Kitty, kitty, kitty. They're both like right there, but they won't come over. Alright, you guys ready to see the poncho? Yeah. Last week, I did put a progress creeper on this one, just to make myself feel better about it, because I was like, I'm not getting anywhere. So, last week, I showed you guys I was right there, like 2 inches, maybe 3 inches in. So, are you ready? It's like 36 inches, which means I only have like 14 more to go. So basically, it's a big long rectangle, and you fold it in half, and then you seam up like half of this and leave half open for the neck. So I'm not, you know, if it was for me, it would have to go like over to here. But again, I am a rather large person and my mother is not. So I think 50 inches will be just fine for her. If it was me, I might go like 55 or 56. Just so it doesn't seem like it's pulled taut, you know, across my chest. But for my mom, it'll be perfectly fine. So this has been kind of my Starbucks knitting. Come here, you gonna come say hi? Nope, sorry. What I like to do is I take Tim to work, and then I can use the gym there at his work, and so I'll go work out, and then after my workout, I go sit at Starbucks. So I get an iced tea, and I get a little breakfast sandwich, and that is my post-workout treat, and I can sit and knit and watch YouTube. I get free refills on my iced tea, so if I take Tim at like 5:30, I'm usually at Starbucks by about 7, and then I stay till about 9, and then come home and go to bed, because then I go get Tim in the morning, and go to the gym in the morning as well. So this poncho has been living at Starbucks. I've consumed so many iced teas while knitting on this, and a couple skinny mochas. Yeah, so that makes it more bearable. Because I only take this, so if I want to sit at Starbucks, I'm forced to knit on the poncho. If I take my other projects, I will somehow end up working on them and not on the poncho. So Mom's poncho is my dedicated Starbucks knitting. I also keep it in the car. I don't bring it in after I get home. Because that way if we go somewhere and Tim drives, I can work on it. Or like on the way home from the gym in the mornings after I picked him up. Sometimes he'll drive. And then I can knit. So I get like 20 minutes extra of knitting if he drives home. So yeah, that is all my works in progress. I guess on this one I have just started the third ball right about here. So I have the rest of this ball and one more ball. So I will decide if I'm just going to keep going. Like if it's a little bit over 50, I might just keep going until I've used up all the yarn, but we'll see how much I have. So I only have a little bit of this third ball left before I start the fourth one. So it might be right on track, but we'll see. Oh, yeah. So I was thinking, you know, this is my last Christmas project, and then I'm done. That's what I thought. And I've been, you know, furiously wrapping all the Christmas knits that I knit, trying to get them ready to mail off. And then we realized that Tim has my aunt for a Christmas, like we exchanged with the aunts and uncles. And that's what I had my cousin for, and I knit her the hat. But he has my aunt. And so my mom's like, well, I think she would like some boot cuffs. So now I have another pair of boot cuffs to make. But luckily those are just like an evening knit. Unfortunately, or fortunately, however you look at it, they need the needles that the poncho's on. And these are Chigoos. These are size 7s. So I can't start on the boot cuffs for my aunt until I finish the poncho for my mom. But that's kind of inspiration because that means I have to keep knitting on the poncho so I can do the boot cuffs. Yeah, so it is what it is. But I'm hoping between tonight and tomorrow I can maybe have it finished. Tim works tonight, so I'm going to take him in, go to the gym, go sit at Starbucks, and I still haven't heard back on my application. So for those of you who have been with me for a couple of episodes, I talked about how I was applying at Starbucks, and so the manager said she would call either way. Well, she didn't call, and then it was Thanksgiving, so I finally tracked her down. Every time I would call, she wouldn't be in, so I finally tracked her down, and she's like, I'm sorry, we're still waiting on your background check to come back, because I guess everybody was, like all the Starbucks were waiting to do their holiday hiring until the last minute, and so the application processing people are completely swamped. Then it was Thanksgiving and Black Friday. So she's like, I promise as soon as I hear, back, I will let you know. So I'm kind of like, that was Saturday. And she's like, hopefully by Monday we'll have an answer. Well, today's Tuesday. And it's already Tuesday afternoon. And I don't want to keep calling her and bugging her because I know, her hands are tied. It's not like she just hasn't got around to it yet. But at the same time, I don't want her to think I'm not interested in it. So I'll give it another day or two, and then maybe I'll call her and say, what's going on? But yeah, Starbucks tangent. I still haven't heard, so for those of you that even remembered that I applied there, I will let you know once I know more, which hopefully will be soon. Okay, well, that is all of my knitting for this week. That poncho has been the bulk of my knitting. With the hat that I started last night and the socks, I turned the heel and that's it. So, I am really itching to cast on the Pure Joy shawl. And I know I've talked about this before, but I'll show you guys. I have this yarn from Artistic Lily, and it is gorgeous, and I love it. This pink is like a bubblegummy pink, and it's got sparkle, and I have 2 skeins of it. This one kind of got unwound. So I have 2 skeins. So this should be enough for the main color in the Pure Joy. But now my problem is, what do I use for the contrasting color? So my first impulse was to go on Etsy, and I did, and I found this gorgeous coffee colored yarn. I forget who the dyer was, but I put it in my cart, so it's still there, because I thought a coffee color would be really pretty. So you want something that goes with it, but that's contrast enough that it's a contrast. So I thought, since it has this light gray, like a dark tonal gray, light brown, I thought like a tonal dark brown would be really pretty. So that's still in my cart. I can purchase it if I want to. But then I thought, I have so much yarn in my stash, maybe I should look in my stash first. So I came up with a couple options, and I want your guys' opinions on which ones you would do, or if you would order the one on my Etsy cart, because I just don't know. So I know I want to do the body in this. It's just a matter of what do I put with it. And I even tried, sorry, I'm looking it up on Etsy. I thought maybe like a completely different contrast color, like maybe a purple or a green, but I didn't have anything that worked. Everything looked like it was just a random color. So, Etsy's not gonna let me do it either. I'm not signed in, and I don't want to waste your time. So, okay, my options for my stash. I have 3. First off, we have this Valkyrie Fibers. Now, the only thing, okay, I love this yarn. I just don't know if I love it with this one. Because this, I'm trying to show you, there. It has like purple eggplanty specks, which is gorgeous. I just don't know if it would clash with this one. Let's see if I can hold them up. Okay, so like that. Yay? Nay? Maybe say? Okay, so this is option 1. option 2 is this Gnome Acres. But I don't know if it's, is it too different of a brown? Like too caramely? Or is it not even enough contrast? It's like, there it looks maybe okay. I was gonna do socks out of this Gnome Acres. This is from their cookies and cream set I ordered. But the cream is a different base, and so I didn't want to do them together. So I have this free skein if I want to do it. I just don't know how that would be. This is sparkle, and then this is tweed. Do it? Don't do it? Okay. But the one I'm leaning towards, if I use stash yarn, is this one. I don't know what this is. I want to say it's candy skein, but it's like a light bluish gray. So I thought that could work. But then, is it too blue? You know, because it's not this. This is like a silvery gray. And this is like a bluish gray. So I don't know, guys. Do I do something from Stash? Or do I order the one from Etsy? I've been trying to be really good and stay off of Etsy. It was so hard with Black Friday, and everybody had gorgeous yarn on my Instagram feed, and everybody had coupon codes, and I couldn't do it. Our budget is super tight right now, especially with Christmas coming, and we're trying to get the tiny house done. Like, you guys, if I duck down, obviously me ducking doesn't help, but up here, this is still the insulation. So, and these walls here aren't even insulated. Like nothing. Like, I just painted it, and then the other side is the outside. So, all of our extra funds are going to the tiny house right now, which is how it should be. I have plenty of yarn. I'm not gonna run out of yarn, but it just makes it so that it's hard to stay off Etsy. So I don't know. If I order the brown one from Etsy, I'm still using 2 from Stash, so it's not the end of the world. I just don't know if I have anything in Stash that would go with it. So, or do I make a different shawl and just wait on the pure joy? I could, but I'm just really kind of obsessed with it right now. And everybody's making it, and I really want to join in. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think on Instagram or on Ravelry, or even in the comments below. You know, which colors would you put together? Yeah, let me know. So, okay, let's move on to acquisitions. I have no yarn acquisitions, but I do have acquisitions of another sort. So I'm going to pause this and go get the acquisitions, and then I'll be right back, and I'll show you guys what I got this week. Okay, hang on. Okay, I'm back. Can you guys hear it? So, I didn't buy any yarn this week. I'm really good, but my husband and I went to the feed store because we needed some more egg cartons, and they had chicks that were on clearance. Now, normally, normally the chicks are like $3.50, $4 a piece, but they had these guys on clearance for $1.50. So we figured, what the heck, we already have everything set up for chicks, so why not get some more? So, this one is a standard chick. Look at how cute it is. Okay. So these guys were $1.50, so they had 7 of them. Then they had bantams. Now bantams are like mini chickens. They're tiny, they don't get very big, and the chicks are so cute. Okay, so get them, and then I'll put the box down, and you guys can see the difference. These are like the same age. Look at it. These guys are like the little peeps. Isn't that the cutest thing you've ever seen? Look at the difference. Same age. Now this guy has feathered legs. I don't know how close she'll let me get. Ooh, hello. Hello. What? You can tell us all about it? Tell it to the camera. Say hi, YouTube. So this one has feathered legs, which is known as a silky, and then this guy doesn't. And if I let him go, see, this guy, little guy should just stay. But this big guy is pretty feisty. So his legs are just like standard chicken legs. So, all in all, I think we got 13 chicks. That's so good. I know. Tell us. Tell us. Look, and then there's Ladybug. Yeah, I know. Shh. I'm gonna go put you out with everybody else. Are you done? Yeah? Okay. You're gonna wake Tim up. Hang on, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So, chicks. Super cute. Super fun. Do we need more chickens? I don't know. It can't hurt. Unfortunately, they say to expect to lose about 25% of the chicks you buy. So, chicks are like so hard to keep alive. They require heat lamps and obviously food and water, but you can do everything right, and then when you'll go out there and one of them will just be dead. So, you always have to buy more than you want to keep in the end, because inevitably some will die by no fault of yours. Okay, I did manage to pull up that yarn I was talking about. So, you guys won't be able to see. Okay, there, that's what it is. So, it's like this dark brown chocolatey color. It's from Destination Yarn. The colorway is Fallen Leaves. Semi-solid chestnut sock yarn. So, do I use that? That's what I'm leaning towards? Or the gray? Or I don't know. Let me know if you guys think the other two would work. I'm horrible at picking things like this.
Go with what's in your stash.
Did you guys hear him? You're supposed to be sleeping. Yeah. So, let me know, what color would you guys pick? What would you do? Would you put it on hold and just wait? Would you cast it on? I don't know. So, hopefully next week I will have the poncho done and maybe some leg warmers to show you guys. Yeah. I hope you have a great week. We are decorating for Christmas, so the tiny house is getting kind of festive. And yeah, I hope you guys have a great week. Happy knitting, and I'll see you next week. Alright, thanks for coming by.